Greetings, Felgen in time and space. It's your host, TheAmariaShadow, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back once again to some more of Ace Attorney Investigations. Now, you're probably wondering why I haven't been really recording consistently for the past couple of days. Well, ever since Tuesday, when I uploaded my last video of Final Fantasy XIV, I pretty much explained that I had been struggling with bouts of insomnia for the past couple of days, and this kept on happening until yesterday because I was able to get my medication for my insomnia problem. So I was finally able to get me a good night's sleep last night, and now I'm back feeling fully energized, and I want to go ahead and tackle the remaining part of episode 2, the Captain's Turnabout, today. So that's what we're going to do. So without further ado, let's get started right away with today's adventure and see what's in store for us. Allons-y! March 29th, 10:12 a.m., Prison Yard. Here we are again. Let's hope we can find something this time that will finally reveal the truth behind it all. Although, it might be easier said than done. There's nothing left to investigate. Judge Gavel's deduction yesterday. Hi, Wilbur. There's another possibility, one you seem to have overlooked. The well in the yard. Could a body not have entered the tunnel from there? In summary, the body must have been thrown down the well and moved to the workshop at some point during the show. Tell me, who else could have done that but Mr. Saint? Had Knight's body really been thrown down the well? The answer to that question will surely show us the way forward. But before we begin, I should tidy up my organizer a little. Unnecessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged. Let's see here. Huh, there's a cover on it. A dried up well slap bang in the middle of a prison? Figures it'd be locked. Well, luckily, I'm a master lockpicker. Want me to do my stuff? I think not. We'll do this investigation by the book. Come on, don't be such a stick in the mud. Whoa! What is it, Kay? The lock's broken, and from the looks of it, it's been broken for a long time. If that's the case, then anyone could have thrown Knight's body down the well. Judge Gavel's theory was that Mr. Saint carried out the murder here in the yard, and then, during the performance, he threw the body down the well. What are you thinking, Mouserino? Plausible or no? Oh, why don't we see if Missile can help us out again? He'll be able to tell us if Mr. Knight's body was here, and which way it went. Good idea. I'll call Detective Gumshoe. Gumshoe speaking! Detective, I need your assistance. Come to the prison yard, and bring Missile with you. You bet, sir! Gumshoe's 7 secret weapons to the rescue again, huh? Fairly sure Missile belongs to the precinct? I'd also like you to bring one of our witnesses. Call the Berry Big Circus and ask Miss Regina Berry to come down here with you. Yes, sir! I'll be there before you know it! So, what shall we do while we're waiting for Gummy? How about a quick game of hide-and-go-seek? Fun idea, kiddo! But where exactly would we hide? I'm not seriously considering it. Your game can wait, Kay. You need to call on one of your more practical skills. I think you know the one. Oh, you bet I do. One crime scene recreation coming right up. Say what now? Let me show you. Introducing a great thief's great secret weapon. Little Thief. Whoa! Screens appearing from thin air? This is some next level tech, little sis. Want to talk me through the deeds? What are you doing now? I'm inputting everything we need for the simulation. Allow me to explain. This is Mr. Thief. This is a device that can recreate crime scenes at specific moments in time based on the data you feed it. How about I start us off with a recreation of what the yard looked like yesterday? Good idea. That was when they were in the middle of tearing down the stage. We didn't pay much attention to the well then. Who knows, we may have overlooked something. Leave it to me! I'll use the photo I took. Beep beep boop beep. That's all the data. Just gotta pump the projection power to max, and dark skies of evening when no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. Yikes! What is this? It's a recreation of how things were yesterday. Modeling the data I gave Little Thief. This gadget was a tool used by the original Yatagarasu, but they used it to plan robberies. Well, there's no harm in using it for something on the right side of the law now. But keep in mind that it can only recreate what you tell it to. It can't simulate things it doesn't have data for. And if the data itself contains mistakes, then you'll wind up with those same mistakes in the recreation too. This particular recreation is based on Kay's photo, so we shouldn't run into any problems. That's enough of preamble. Shall we get started? Don't forget, you can examine stuff in the recreation, just like in real life. You can also present evidence to try to clear up any inconsistencies you find. Of course, thank you for the reminder. Now let's take a look at that well. We should examine this area carefully. It may just hold the clue we need. Let's look at the weight first. It's a metal weight of some kind. It looks like it weighs... The projection makes it a little tricky to read. Do you remember how heavy it was, Kay? Sure, it was 30 pounds. What does anyone need such a heavy weight for, anyway? Doesn't seem related to the circus show, at any rate. What are a bunch of pulleys doing here? They don't seem to be well pulleys for lifting buckets. There's a sturdy looking hemp rope lying on the ground. Kinda reminds me of the ropes we used for playing tug of war in school. The answer is no, Kay. What? I didn't even say anything! Yet, I see it also has a metal stake attached to one end. Oh yeah, it looks like something you'd use to put up a tent. But there was no tent, was there? In which case, what was it used for? The well was behind the stage, which means there aren't many people who could have thrown a nice body down it during the show. This is looking worse and worse for Mr. Sane. So, what do you think all the stuff around the well was used for? I can't see any of the animals needing them for their part of the performance. Indeed, nothing immediately strikes me on the likely purpose. We'll have to ask Miss Berry later. Elephant! What was the name of our trunk-happy friend again? Isaiah the Asian Elephant. Of course, how could I forget? Not exactly inspired though, is it? Was Miss Berry having an off day when she came up with it? Oh my gosh, Mr. Edward, not in front of the poor elephant herself! I suspect that's about all there is to find for now. Inspector Gumshoe should be here soon, too. Okay, you can power down Mr. Thief now. Sure thing! Prepare to return to normality. Sorry, sir! I came as quick as I could! Ha! Speak of the devil! Ah, detective, that was indeed impressively quick. You know me, sir! Never did like to keep you waiting. Thanks for coming all this way, too, Regina. No problem. This seemed way more fun than rehearsal, so I ditched them for the day. It's very much appreciated. Alright, detective, let's get started with Missile. Yes, sir! Hey, Missile! Over here, boy! What's the matter? Come on, boy, come on! What's wrong with him? Looks like he's scared of something, sir. Alligator! Guess he's not a fan, sir. Well, I doubt he'll be of much help to us like this. Any other bright ideas, Miles Cerrito? Yes, actually. Miss Berry, would you mind lending us a hand? Oh, I'd love to. Just tell me what you need. You want me to teach Allie some tricks? I don't doubt she could do it, but nothing quite like that. I'd simply like an account of what the yard looked like during the show. I like where this is going. You're thinking of using Little Thief again, am I right? If you'd be so kind. Okay, I plugged in all the data. Firing up the simulation. Here you go. This is what the yard was like during the show. time of which his body was reported to have been thrown down the well. Oh wow, this is so amazing, it's like magic! No magic here, just sweet, sweet data. Which is why... the area behind the stage is missing. Yeah, Regina says she wasn't involved in getting the stage set up. So we don't have any data on what it was like back there. No data, no simulation, huh? Brutal. I'm so sorry, you guys. It's all because I let Simeon do everything by himself. Oh, no. It's all my frilly associate's fault. Objection, Bender! Anyway, we've got a fresh simulation now, but we still have the other data, too. I can switch back whenever you want to a recreation of them taking down the stage. So we can examine the scene both during and after the show, and switch between the two at will. I can switch between recreations by using triangles and talk with K. Now then, let's continue our investigation, shall we? Don't say a word, sir! I know just what you're looking for. It's written all over your face. It is. Missile may be temporarily out of action, but my fishing rod is good to go whenever you need it. Oh, and if you want to give the metal detector a shot, I have that too! I've never seen him so excited. I'll be sure to let you know if I need either of them, Detective. A story of forbidden love between a tiger and an elephant. Wish I could have seen it. Wish I could have seen Simeon up there on that stage too. Oh, he was wonderful, the way he flew off that stage. Oh yes, that scene. His victory is depicted in a very unique manner, whereby the villain is sent flying from the stage. Having been ejected from the stage in this manner, the villain no longer appears in the performance. And you're saying the crime took place during that time. Roughly how long would you say Mr. Saint was off stage for, Miss Mary? Let's see, I guess it was around 15 minutes? Just as Judge Gabel said. Isn't it pretty hairy, health and safety-wise, having an elephant fling a guy off the stage? Not at all! Isaiah's very gentle. I'm not sure it changes much if she flings him gently or roughly. Too gentle, in fact. When we first rehearsed it, she barely nudged him. But by the end, he was flying off that stage. Not because of Isaiah, though. Simeon had figured out some kind of trick, apparently. Isn't that amazing? A trick? Do you have any idea what kind of trick? Who, me? Oh no, it was Simeon's big thing. I wouldn't know where to start. The basket was empty in the other recreation. Oh yeah, but it was definitely empty in the photo I took too. Oops, sorry, I made a mistake when I was filling you in earlier. Oh? The baskets were holding Isaiah's food, but on the morning of the show, all the apples that were in it had vanished. Poof! Totally forgot to mention it. Sorry. Disappearing apples. I should make a note of this. Alright. Let's do some logic here. Okay, so we got items around the well, Mr. Saint's big moment, disappearing apples, Isaiah the elephant, metal detector, and 30-pound weight. I think these two go together. He had the pulley system pull him off the stage. The trick Mr. Saint performed for his big scene. Did it have something to do with all the items we found by the well? Okay, I'd like to have another look at the equipment around the well from yesterday. Can you have Mr. Thief bring up the recreation from when they were tearing down the stage? You got it! Taking another look at these items, could they not have been used for this trick of Mr. Saint's? Sounds plausible enough. Hey, I could maybe add it to the simulation. Good idea. Please go and ask Mr. Saint for the details. Roger that! I'll be right back! I'm back, and he told me exactly how he did it. Excellent. Well, how does it work? He said he used the pulley at the top of the well to suspend a heavy weight from a rope, and lowered that down into the well. The other end of the rope went through 2 more pulleys, and was tied around his body. I see, so he used the downward pull of the weight to help him launch himself into the air. But how did he make sure the weight only dropped when he wanted it to? He used a stake to stop it, that's how. Miss Berry didn't even know anything about the trick, or the contraption he built for it. In which case, I suppose it must have been Mr. Satan himself who pulled out the stake. That's right, and to do that he used a second length of rope. He tied it to the stake, and then, when he gave it a sharp tug, the stake was released, and the weight dropped down the well. It's a great trick. I have to feel it. This one has to go in the Great Thief's repertoire. It may not be quite that easy. These kind of circus tricks can require years of practice to master. Simply stealing the idea won't be enough. Alright, practice it is then. Well, before you run away to do so, would you mind updating the simulation? Oh, right. Then we can see how it all worked for ourselves. Okay, I'm switching back to the recreation of the performance. And now to add in the data. Little Thief should be able to reproduce the trick now. So this is how Mr. Saint performed this trick. Simeon's full of surprises, huh? I mean, dropping a weight down a well to help him fly off the stage like that? That's genius! Indeed, I imagine he would have needed quite a lot of weight. More than him, at the very least. It would have taken some serious pull to lift him into the air like that. Yeah, probably a ton of practice. Alright. More logic time. So he definitely would have needed a lot more weight to drop and pull him up, so I wonder what he used. Wait, doesn't this seem odd to you? No. You haven't noticed, Detective? There's something strange about the weight we found. Yeah, how heavy it is. The one weight on its own wouldn't be heavy enough. A single 30-pound weight couldn't have lifted Mr. Saint off the ground. Oh yeah! In which case, could there perhaps be some weights missing? Sounds like a job for my 7 security weapons, sir! Should the need to use them arise? I suppose I should speak with him then. Alright then, in that case, let's choose the metal detector and insufficient weight. We need to find those other weights. Detective, I have need of one of your secret weapons. Roger that! The metal detector, if you would be so kind. Aw, jeez, never gonna get to use my fishing rod. So before we get started, let me run through how the metal detector works, sir. It's simple enough. It uses this sound. And this gauge to tell you how close you are to something made of metal. The closer you get, the more strongly it'll react. When it starts going wild like this, just give me the order to examine the spot where I'm standing. Say, what do we got here? Oh, the fence. Anyway, that's how it all works. You tell me where you want me to look, sir, and I'll get right on it. What is this? Sir, I'm picking up something over here. Take a little look-see. Huh? Found these little guys in the grass. They're the same as the weight we found by the well. They must be from Mr. Saint's trick. Did someone hide these here on purpose? I count 4 altogether, sir. They will be more than heavy enough to send them flying. Somebody hid several of the same weights as the one by the well. But why? And why over here? Yes! Nice work, me! Ah! Alligator! That thing nearly gave me a heart attack. Huh? What's the matter, detective? It's the metal detector, sir. It's, reacting to the alligator. What? How? It's not real. You sure it's not responding to the weights we just found? No, sir. I'm sure this is something different. And I'm sure it's coming from the alligator. And she's gone. Ha! We scared that big snapper good. I don't think that's it, Kay. Huh? Then what is it? Allie hasn't been herself lately. That's the name. Allie, the warden's favorite pet. She wouldn't even look at the food Warden LaGuard brought her yesterday. She was acting as if, I don't know, as if maybe she'd eaten something that didn't agree with her. Maybe the metal detector was responding to whatever she ate, sir. Oh no, what if she ate one of the weights? I highly doubt that even an alligator could swallow a 30-pound lump of iron. So what did the metal detector actually pick up? And why would someone hide those weights? Perhaps I missed something when I looked at the equipment by the well. Okay, could you recreate the scene again? Coming right up! I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Okay. Wait. There should be 2 ropes here. Where'd the other one go? Could this be related to the evidence somehow? Piece of evidence reveals a contradiction in the scene of a crime. Gonna need some specifics here, Mr. Edgeworth. Gotta say, I don't get it either, sir. Well, if you look, here... Nope. Come on, sir, you gotta give us more than that. Yes. This contraption. I'm not imagining things, it's missing something. Oh, wait. Yeah, where's the other rope? No? Okay. The well was behind the stage, which means there aren't many people who could have thrown Knight's body down it during the show. It's looking worse and worse for Mr. Sane. So, this rope was used in Mr. Saint's trick during the show. That's one heck of a setup to pull off with a single length of rope. Seems more capable than he looks. It's one piece of rope. It seems we have a contradiction on our hands. Eureka! Think about the 2 recreations, the one during the performance and the one we're looking at right now. There's a major difference between the 2. Sorry, I also have a bit of lunch here and I'm trying to make sure it doesn't go cold. Nothing too crazy, just some dinosaur chicken nuggets. Namely, that one of the ropes was missing. Oh yeah, Mr. Saint's trick would work with only the items received for us. So what happened? Where did the missing rope go? I think one of the pieces of evidence we collected might tell us exactly that. Really? What shows us where the missing rope went? Take that! This rope was found beside Knight's body. Wait, you mean... Yes, it must have been the other rope used in Mr. Saint's trick. So you're saying, yes, that this rope did indeed have a weight attached to it. But it wasn't any of the iron weights we found. Those were hidden in the bushes and replaced with something else. What was it, Mr. Edgeworth? Come on, I'm dying here. Think about what the rope we found at the workshop was related to. Do that and you'll soon figure out the answer. The weight dropped down the well in place of the iron weights was... Take that! It can only have been Knight's body that was dropped down the well. What? Mr. Knight's body was the weight? Yeah, somebody first swapped out the weights used for Mr. Saint's trick. Then Mr. Saint used his contraption to make his exit from the stage. When he left the rope around his body loose, both the rope and Knight's body fell to the bottom of the well. That rope was never used to restrain him. It was used to suspend his body halfway down the well. From this, we can easily see why most of the weights were hidden, so that no one would realize they'd been replaced with a body. Precisely, we could then further deduce that they were hidden by the killer. Whoa there, gang! Was a poor old Bronco stabbed in the neck? Wouldn't there be blood everywhere, including down the well? Oh, the killer thought of that. That's why they used this. What did the killer use to stop Knight's blood from going everywhere? The bloody tarp, I'm guessing? Take that! This tarp was found with the body. I think it's likely that Knight's corpse was wrapped in it. Ooh, another piece of the puzzle falls into place. It's all coming together now. Love it. But all we're doing is proving that the body did go down the well, which means we're helping to prove that Simeon was the killer. No, not quite. What about what Judge Gavelle said yesterday? Ah, but if Mr. Saint truly is the killer, why would he need to go to such lengths to commit this crime? That's true. Knight's body fell down the well when Mr. Saint used his contraptions during the show. Therefore, it reveals nothing about where the real killer actually was or what they were doing at the time. It's only designed to throw suspicion onto those who were not at the show. Yeah, I guess we did suspect Mr. Canis right away, huh? That was the killer's goal, to make us think that the crime took place during the show. In other words, they used a well contraption to construct an alibi. Miss Barry, when exactly did Mr. Saint put his contraption together? It would have been the day before the show. The night before, actually. Yes, we started getting ready for the show at around 9 p.m. And I think we finished at around midnight? In which case, the killer must have switched the weights out for the body after that point. Did Canis know about this contraption? Even if he did, he wouldn't have been able to do much with it. And I highly doubt that he taught his dog to suspend bodies halfway down wells, which means Canis isn't the killer. Alright. This one's easy. Isaiah and disappearing apples. The apples in the basket were likely eaten by Isaiah. Really? That's strange. She sure would put the cart where her trunk couldn't reach them. Are you sure about that? Oh yes, it was still full of apples the night before the show. Then you must consider the possibility that the cart was moved to somewhere within Isaiah's reach. A large basket full of apples couldn't have moved by the wind, which likely means somebody moved it for a reason. So before the show had even started, the cart had been removed, and its apples eaten. Yes, that seems to be the most probable timeline. Let's update the recreation, Kay. Will do! I'll add that into the simulation of the performance then. Let me just change back to that recreation first. Updating based on what Regina told us now. There! All done! And then these are the last two, so these go together easily. The basket was moved the night before the circus performance, and we've deduced that the weights were switched out for the body at around the same time. Hard to chalk that up to coincidence, huh? And the next question we should be asking is, why was the cart moved? I think I can hazard a guess. The cart would have been blocking that door, which could only mean that somebody needed to open it. Now let's see what's... Oh, great. It's locked. Let me ask a guard for help. Hey, Mr. Guard! Yes, miss? What can I do for you? That was fast. Guard, where's the key for this door? Oh, the warden keeps hold of that. I'll go ask him for it. Warden LaGuard is the only one with a key? Meaning, if somebody did open the door, they would have had to get it from her somehow. Thanks for the help! Look at all these breakers. They must control the electricity for the whole prison. So we're thinking somebody got in here the night before the show, right? But why? What were they trying to do? Well, I doubt they came here by mistake thinking it was a break room. They must have come to tamper with the switches. Did they turn off the power to something? Come to think of it, wasn't there something that lost power? What might have lost power had a breaker been flipped? Wasn't it the security gates? No, it was the security camera footage, right? Yeah, the security cameras were down. There was a 3-hour gap in the security camera footage. Oh yeah, there was! Will somebody flip the breaker it was connected to? Seems very likely. Do you think it was the killer? It's true that shutting off the cameras would have made things easier for them. It would! Which means the killer would have to be someone who had access to the breakers. It seems only one person has the key. It couldn't be, could it? Alright, little thief. Your work here is done. Investigation complete. Oh boy. First on the scene, the early bird wins the worm. Good morning, Mr. Winner. What? How'd you get here before me? Good morning, Miss Edgeworth. I see you've made an early start. And I see you've made a late one, Judge Gavelle. This is not my only case. I am a very busy woman. Not all of us enjoy the freedom of a prosecutor relieved of his only current responsibility. Oh, I do apologize. I meant, of course, an associate attorney. Associate! More like asinine. We'll see about that. Eustace, let us begin the investigation of the yard. Okay, I'll go get some officers to help. That won't be necessary. Why not? We've already finished investigating the yard, and won quite the prize in the process. Won? But I'm supposed to be the winner! Your Honor. I'd like to revisit your theory for you, in order to thoroughly disprove it. I would caution you to choose your words carefully, Mr. Edgeworth. As I'm sure you remember, your badge is in my hands. How could I forget? You told me several dozen times already. Perhaps you'd care to try a different threat. You've been warned repeatedly, yes, and each time my words seem to have fallen on deaf ears. Allow me to make this crystal clear. The committee cannot and will not tolerate insubordination. The fate of my badge and the whims of the committee are no concern to me now. The only thing that concerns me is proving Simeon Saint's innocence. Interesting. It's spoken like a true defense attorney. In that case, I should be equally uncompromising. In the name of the goddess of justice, I will strike down your case without mercy. When I am done, your career as a prosecutor will be over as well. I hope you do not come to regret this. Judge Gavelle's theory. My theory remains the same as when I related it to you yesterday. Mr. Carcerado did not see Mr. Knight's body when he passed through the tunnel. As such, the body could only have been dropped down the well during the show. We both know the only one who could have dropped the body down there during the show is Mr. Saint. That's still your assertion, and you can prove it, of course. Of course you can! Who do you think you're up against? What Eustace means to say is that we received the final autopsy report just ahead of our arrival. She really is a very busy woman, busy looking after baby Winner. The victim appears to have died the night before the body was discovered. In other words, the night before the show. The cause of death is as stated. It seems the wound is 4 inches deep. Simeon Saint was off stage for a period of 15 minutes. There was plenty of time for him to throw the victim's body down the well. Judge Gavelle hasn't investigated the yard yet, which means I fear there may be something of a flaw with your theory, Your Honor. You seem very confident of that. But do you have any evidence to prove it? Yes, I think I just might. My theory remains the same as when I related to you yesterday. Mr. Carcerado did not see Mr. Knight's body when he passed through the tunnel. As such, the body could only have been dropped down the well during the show. We both know the only one who could have dropped the body down there during the show is Mr. Saint. Really? What about this?
Objection!
Sorry, Your Honor, but there's something else you're going to have to take into account. The well in the yard was rigged up to create a certain unique contraption. The contraption? Go on. You will recall that Mr. Saint was sent flying from the stage by the elephant. I do, just before he was set to be absent for some time. He was only able to fly through the air thanks to a weighted rope he tied around himself. Dropping the weighted end down the well allowed him to complete the trick.
Objection!
Wait, wouldn't this implying as soon as he set foot on the stage? It's simple, really. He kept the weight for falling by using a stake to keep the rope in place. With the second rope, he was able to pull the stake free, thereby controlling when the weight was dropped. We have found evidence to suggest that the original weight was replaced with Knight's body. This was done by the real killer in order to create an alibi. The estimated time of death tells us that the murder took place early in the morning. The killer could have tampered with the contraption in the time between the murder and the show. You're saying Mr. Saint himself set this contraption up, right? Well then, who do you think is the #1 most likely person to have used it to dispose of a body, Even you must see how this looks. If Mr. Saint was the killer, he could have simply done as Judge Gazelle theorized, without these extra steps. Miss Berry! Yes, does anyone else know how Mr. Saint's trick works? Well, let's see. We had to get the prison's approval on what we were going to perform, and I don't think Simeon's the only one who knows. And there you have it. Interesting. You have certainly been diligent in your investigation, and yet I fail to comprehend your actions still. Why do you not work to do what is right? Is what I am doing wrong? If so, who is it that deems it so? How can you not grasp even that? How can you not see that you are doing wrong at this very moment? You are a prosecutor, and yet you aid the defense. This flies in the face of common sense. You are breaking every rule in the book. I think only of what is right and just, and act as I see fit in each situation I am confronted with. This is the path I have chosen, and whether you can comprehend that choice is immaterial. But if you mean to stand in my way, I will fight back with all I can bring to bear! Perhaps the goddess of justice is testing me. Very well. If it is her will that we must fight, then I shall end this, once and for all. Listen well, Miss Edgeworth, for there is another reason why only Mr. Saint can be the killer. Why Saint is the suspect? If the body was moved from the yard to the workshop, then Mr. Knight must have first been brought here to the yard from his cell. The only person who had the opportunity to do that is Simeon Saint, and thus he remains the only plausible suspect. Mr. Saint took a cage with him to Mr. Knight's cell, but why would he do that? Why take such an unwieldy object all the way to the holding cell? Yeah, it is pretty sus, but we all met Mr. Saint. That's exactly the kind of thing he would do. It's entirely plausible that he took the cage with him out of absent-mindedness and nothing else. It may be plausible, but it is no more or less plausible than him having helped Mr. Knight to escape. I need some real solid evidence if I'm going to get her to budge. Why Saint is the suspect? The body was moved from the yard to the workshop, then Mr. Saint must have first been brought here to the yard from his cell. The only person who had the opportunity to do that is Simeon Saint. Really? Really now? I disagree. Mr. Saint is far from the only one who had the opportunity. Which opportunity are we talking about again? We previously established that the time code on the security footage was off by 3 hours. And from this, we can deduce that there must have been a power outage lasting for that length of time, during which anyone could have moved around the prison undetected. Do you mean to say that our killer intentionally created this 3-hour gap? That it was no simple camera malfunction? Is that even possible? It was completely possible to create this 3-hour gap using this.
Take that!
The breakers. Our investigation of the yard turned up something rather interesting. A panel of breakers, one which can be used to cut the powers of security cameras. We also learned that the door to the power room may have been opened around the time of the murder. What? Such a shame to see one so capable fall so short of the mark. Mr. Edgeworth knows what he's doing. Then how does he explain the lock in the power room door? Oh yeah, it was kind of locked up tight, and the warden's the only one with the key. Those breakers are vital to the prison's infrastructure, so I very much doubt that anyone could have gained access to the power room.
Objection!
You just gave him everything he needed. No, but one person could have. I beg your pardon? That person, the killer, had easy access to it, in fact. And what's more, their position here is such that nobody would dare question them. What? There's no one like that! The breaker to the electric fence is in there! It would be questioned in an instant! There's only one person who meets these criteria. I hardly believe it myself, but I have to follow where the logic leads. The person who had access to the power room key was... Warden LaGuard.
Take that!
The real culprit is... Warden LaGuard. Oh, just look at you. Aren't you the cutest little poochie woo? He's not just a pretty face. Missile also has quite a nose for sweet things. It seems he's smelling something very sweet indeed, and it's coming from you. Oh, darling, you're making me blush. I'm not even wearing perfume. Then perhaps it is the sweet stench of death. You're a regular poet, aren't you? I had no idea. If I didn't know better, I'd almost think you were calling moi the killer. That is precisely what I'm calling you. What? Warden LaGuard is the killer? Mr. Edward, do you realize what you're saying? Oh, such a naughty boy. How could he suspect me, I'm the one in charge around here. It's like we're in a murder mystery, aren't we? It's equally far-fetched. This is preposterous. Sadly, it is not, although I can hardly believe it myself. This is where the evidence points, and we must trust in the evidence. This piece of evidence proves that Warden LaGuard is the killer.
Take that!
Your scent betrays you, Warden. And here's your accuser. The police dog. We had him track a sweet scent that was lingering around Knight's body back when it was first found. He now appears to be smelling the same scent, and it's coming from you. Darling, you're precious! Priceless, really you are! Your evidence is a whiff of suspicion. Bertie, dear, do put him in his place. Seems Judge Cavell may have reached a similar conclusion to myself. You believe this to be no mere coincidence, Mr. Edward? I do. After all, she had the key, and the scent found lingering on the body is hers as well. Were it just one or the other, we might be able to brush it off as coincidence. However... Indeed, it seems a conclusion approaches. Perhaps we should hear what the warden has to say for herself. We should, and when we have, this case will finally be at an end! You're all being simply awful! Stop looking at me like that! Me, the killer? How could I possibly do such a thing? I didn't do it. Verity told me everything she knows about the case, sweetie. The victim died in his cell, so by logic I would have had to have killed him there. How am I supposed to have moved the body? Especially as I never went into the prison. I was too busy with work, you see. I was cooped up in my office until right before the show began. Check if you like. You won't find a record anywhere of my having entered or left the prison proper. I haven't the first idea of what harebrained theories you little scamps have cooked up, but I'm innocent. There's simply no way I could be the killer. Give me a break. Miss Owl doesn't lie. Just don't make it hard on everyone and just come clean. Oh dear, I'm afraid you are the one making things difficult. As I just said, I never went into the prison. If you think I'm lying, go check the records. She clearly wants us to check those records, which means they won't help us. We'll just have to find another way of getting the truth out of her. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, stop being a big silly. You've made a boo-boo and you know it. Betty told me everything she knows about the case, sweetie. The victim died in his cell, so by your logic, I would have had to have killed him there. How am I supposed to have moved the body, especially as I never went into the prison? I was too busy with work, you see. I was cooped up in my office until right before the show began. Check if you like. You won't find a record anywhere of my having entered or left the prison proper. Why is that? Sure, maybe you didn't go through the main entrance to the prison. But what if you took another route? Come now, sweetie. Surely you don't mean that awful, filthy tunnel they discovered. Why, until yesterday I had no idea it even existed. No, you had another way in. I'm certain of it. A route that didn't require going through the main entrance or the tunnel. The route you took went through this location. It had to be the yard, yeah?
Take that!
Through the fence. Warden, you took Knight from his cell and brought him to your office, which just happened to be connected to the yard. If you had a way through the fence, then you would have been able to circumvent both the entrance and the tunnel. A gold star for creativity, darling. And how would I have gotten through the fence? An extremely high fence, topped with razor wire, with thousands of volts of electricity going through it. Yeah, how's she supposed to have gotten through that? The fence's electricity supply can be cut off from the power room, and only you have the key, Warden. No one but you could have done it. Utterly ridiculous. The power room is on the prison side of the yard. Warden LaGuard was on the detention center side. How would she even have reached the power room? Exactly, Verity, darling. Well, clever puss, you've dug yourself a real hole now. If there's no record of Warden LaGuard having entered the prison proper, then the idea that she could have shut off the fence by using the breaker is out of the question. Ah! But there must be some way she could have done it. Take a deep breath, big guy. Lose your cool and you've lost everything. But if I don't find a solution, she might still wriggle out of this. Hey, I said take a deep breath, not freak out and completely lose your cool. There's nothing to be gained by banging your head against the same wall, yeah? No matter how you look at it, Warden LaGuard couldn't have done it alone. Mr. Edgeworth, I cannot find a... You aren't doing yourself any favors by obstructing justice with your silence. That was a reflexive objection. But now that I've yelled it, if I don't come up with an answer, it's all over. I have one more thing to add, if you'll permit me. Something that explains how the warden could have shut off the breaker from the wrong side of the fence. Yes, because it's not as impossible as it seems. What enabled her to shut off the breaker? An accomplice? An accomplice. She couldn't have done it alone. But what if she wasn't alone? Ooh, now we're talking! Way to flex the old gray matter, kiddo! I believe that Warden LaGuard had an accomplice. Enough. You disappoint me, Mr. Edgeworth. What do you mean? Mr. Edgeworth has said nothing wrong! The inmates of this prison are all issued with security bracelets. The ones that raise the alarm if people go where they're not supposed to. Ah! I see that you have released your error, and we are, of course, within the prison grounds, where not only are the bracelets worn, but even the guards surveil each other for signs of wrongdoing. Despite all that, no one noticed Mr. Carcerado's escape. The only ones who are free to roam are the animals, and they most certainly could not have operated the breaker. No, so our accomplice must be you. And who did it, given that it cannot have been a prisoner or a guard? I wouldn't be so quick to rule out either, Your Honor. The fact is, there is one person, someone whose movements weren't restricted, and I have just the evidence to show who that free-roaming person was. I know who it was. Frank Solid, yeah?
Take that!
This is one of the prisoner's bracelets. Indeed, a broken bracelet belonging to a certain self-proclaimed model prisoner. What do you mean? And who is this prisoner? Frank Solid, Warden LaGuard's favorite inmate. Uh-oh! It's strange, isn't it, Warden, that he was able to keep this broken bracelet hidden and wander freely around the prison all the while? That is pretty funky, and I don't mean in a good way. It couldn't be the case that he was permitted some sort of special leeway, could it? Although you are in the habit of giving such leeway to certain others, but it's hard of kindness. Mr. Edgeworth, that is pure speculation! In that case, I don't be asked Mr. Solid himself. I'm confident he will confirm for us that he and Mr. Warden LaGuard were accomplices in this crime. The two of them had worked together. A certain route in the prison becomes violent. The real route from which Knight was moved from his cell to the prison proper. Recall that there were two big obstacles in her path. First, the security camera outside Knight's cell. Second, the electrified fence in the yard. she was able to remove both obstacles in one fell swoop, by having Mr. Sawit shut off the corresponding breakers. Alright, Mr. Edgeworth, you've had your fun. And? You still deny it, Warden McGuard? No, darling, you've got me. I admit it. Warden? Tell me this isn't true! Sorry, Verity, honey. I'm afraid it is. Frankie helped me do it. No way! You did it, Mr. Edgeworth. You got her! Nice shooting, cowboy! She won't be wrangling out of this now. As Mr. Edgeworth said, I had Frankie switch off the breaker. But we didn't kill Knight, did we? No, sweetums. No, we didn't. What? Warden, explain yourself. Oh, Verity, dear. I doubt your precious goddess will want to hear my excuses now. She is all merciful. You have but to confess, and you shall be saved. Oh, gosh. All right. I was being threatened. I had no choice but to do as he said. Who's he? Bullet-Hammer Canis, that awful assassin. Canis! How long has it been since that awful man came here to my beautiful prison? I'll never forget the day he arrived. The moment we were alone, he said this to me. You should know that I have other dogs. Dogs not confined to this fine institution. Others? Yes, very loyal dogs. Dogs who will do anything I ask of them. Of course, he wasn't talking about real dogs. He was talking about his very human cronies. And then he said one last thing. I would recommend that you take care in how you treat me during my stay here. I wouldn't want to have to send my dogs on you, or your precious family. I had no choice. I gave him that cell. I gave him everything he asked for. Everything? Wait, is that how he became the Fickler? Yes, darling. I obeyed his every command and smuggled in for him all that he wanted. Eventually, I brought dear sweet Frankie into our little conspiracy. He agreed right away, of course, because I made things easier for him, too. So you were smuggling in contraband? How exactly? Once a week, late at night, Frankie would shut off the breaker. Then would have me to go from my office into the yard without being seen by the cameras. Then I simply dropped the packages down the well on the prisoner side and went back through the fence. Each one of them splits with a little of my perfume. So that's what the sweet smell was. Yes, it was a signal from Canis's dog. They picked up the scent, he would fetch the packages and bring them back to his master. He had to make sure Rocco wasn't in his cell at the time, of course. It had been easy keeping him from finding out. Oh, we're all very much creatures of habit here at the prison, darling. Everything runs to a schedule. Meals, exercise hours, that sort of thing. We knew when he wasn't there. And that adorable little bear of his freezes with fright at the sight of Canis's dog, poor thing. So there was no risk of him raising the alarm either. Oversight everything here at the prison, which made her the perfect mule. With her on his side, Canis couldn't fail. Frankie would sneak out again early in the morning to switch the breakers back on, and our work was done. Faulkner fixed the time codes in the cameras, which I would do later when I got the chance. We shared a great deal, Warren. The goddess of justice will surely take your honesty into account. I've been the most dreadful fool, I know I have. I'm supposed to be the one in charge. The day of Knight's murder was also one of our delivery days, and so Frankie, bless his heart, did his usual work with the breakers. But there was no package for me to deliver that day, so I didn't go out into the yard. So that's the secret behind the Fixer system, and what she was. The police have been trying to track down his accomplices for the longest time. Even I've had to lend them a hand myself, you know. Heaven knows how many times I've called the secretive scoundrel into my office to talk to me. No matter what I say or how much evidence I present him with, he simply won't say a word. That's why you were interrogating Mr. Canis over and over. Exactly. I was trying to track down those horrible hench people of his. I borrowed everything the police had on that rotten scoundrel. I watched his every move, intercepted every letter he wrote. His letters? I suppose you must know about his correspondence chess games, too. But no matter what I did, I couldn't turn up any clues as to who his underlings were. Living in fear like this, it's... Oh, you just can't comprehend it! As you have just heard for yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The words of Warden LaGuard's confessions have cleansed her of all suspicion. Surely there is no need to hound her any longer. Has she really been cleared of all suspicion, though? Or is there more about her to uncover? There's definitely more. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but this conversation isn't over yet. and I think the goddess of justice would agree. So you mean to make her suffer even more than she already has? Unfortunately, her suffering under Mr. Canis does nothing to prove her innocence in Knight's murder. She admitted herself that she knew of, and even facilitated the so-called Fixer's delivery route. I believe she used that same route to move Knight's body. And where's your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth? Isn't the fact that the sweet smell of Knight's body is the exact same sweet scent Warden LeGuard uses to signal a delivery? What do you make of that? Well, that's because we've done it so many times by now that the whole well probably smells of it. Some of it must have just rubbed off on his body. It does match the statement that Mr. Carcerado provided. A smell? Yeah, always smell kinda nice down there. Nice? Gee, I don't know. Smells sort of like dessert, I guess. His words would seem to suggest that the smell had permeated the well. Ah! You've been rather speechless, I see. I hereby move to adjourn this session of the court. No, what do we do, Mr. Edgeworth? What can I do? Is this as far as we go? Finally! So we're actually done. Yes, Eustace, it seems we are. By the power vested in me, this court is adjourned. Who was that? Come on, Judge G. Things are just getting good. Fender! Are you objecting to my adjourning the session? No. Would have shouted objection if I wanted to do that. You do you, G. Adjourn, don't adjourn, whatever floats your boat. What are you doing, Mr. Fender? Don't worry about what I'm doing. Let's all just take a chill pill, shall we? By which I mean a square of chocolatey goodness. Anyone? You're trying to get yourself charged with contempt of court? No, my bad. I just had a quick request to make, is all. That Simeon Saint's lawyer, that is. Oh, yes. I had forgotten that you were his real attorney. How could you? You're killing me here. Do you blame us? You've been making Mr. Edgeworth do everything this whole time. Right you are, which is why I figured it's time to put in some work. Work, you say? Somehow, I don't believe you worked a day in your life. And let's say this is me doing some prep work for the upcoming trial. Mind if I question the witness? Now? Amusing, but what is there left to ask? I've got a feeling in my funny bone that Feast here has something more to tell us about the killer. Do I? Yes, indeed. See, as a major player on Team Simeon, I can spot a sympathizer when I see one. And you don't think he did it, do you? So tell us, who did? Come on, spill the beans. We're all ears. Mr. Edgeworth, what's he doing? He's trying to coax Warden LeGuard into giving something away. Ask yourself, why would she go to all the trouble of sending Knight's body on such an odd journey? Is it because she wanted to frame Mr. Canis? She did? No way! If he was convicted of committing murder here, that could have been grounds for a transfer to another prison, most likely a more secure facility, and where he'd be out of her hair forever, huh? Precisely. She saw her opportunity and seized it. No! Say, can't not be the killer! That's not fair! I was all ready to prosecute him! I know, right? Maybe we should find out what she thinks first. I want to get the wrong guy, yeah? Nice! Now Mr. Winter has to go along with it, too! Well, Warden, are you happy to testify further? Of course! How could I refuse this silver-tongued devil? Eddykins! Have such a way with words! Just doing my job, thief! Besides, one can't tell the truth without telling the whole truth, can one? I'm simply dying to tell all fairity, darling. Do say you'll let me. As you wish. Court is unadjourned. I can't believe you pulled that off, Mr. Fender. Me either. Thank you for the timely intervention. Hey, it's the least I can do. Kay's not wrong. I've been leaning on you hard. And besides, the defense never rests. Am I right? Simeon's depending on us. Sadly, I think I just about exhausted my reserves of cool lawyer chat there. You can't foul this up now. It means you're up to bat now, McSmiles. Show him that never rest spirit. I shall. Fabulous! Let's get started! My truth. I really don't think anyone could have done it but that dreadful man Canis. There's no telling what went on between him and the victim. Perhaps he simply took a disliking to him. He's certainly the type. But whatever the sort of details, it was him. He stabbed that poor man to death. And then he had his dog dispose of the body. That simply has to be what happened. The victim, Mr. Knight, yes? I did him the most terrible disservice. Yes, you killed him. I suppose you could put it that way. If it was such a sorry excuse for a warden, this would never have happened. And that's why I have to clean up this terrible mess. Warden McGuard, as ever, your honesty is truly to your credit. I'm certain Mr. Knight is looking down and weeping tears of gratitude. You clearly never met Mr. Knight. I really don't think anyone could have done it but that dreadful man Canis. There's no telling what went on between him and the victim. Perhaps he simply took a disliking to him. He's certainly the type. But whatever the sordid details, it was him. He stabbed that poor man to death. Really. Tell me more. What more can you tell us about those sordid details? Well, we all know what Canis once did for a living. I doubt the killing part gave him much trouble. Especially as the victim was already injured. His neck, I think? Couldn't turn his head to the right, poor dear. That's what they told me when they brought him in, anyway. Let's make some sort of report for the warden when new prisoners are admitted. It's keen for us to think that you didn't know much about Knight. That's because I didn't, sweetie. And the victim was simply a fun target to that master, nothing more. I expect Canis used the chisel that was hidden in that chest set, don't you? Awful grisly business. Just imagine, the man probably didn't even have time to cry out. I see. Thank you for your thoughts. They were very helpful. Actually, I'd like to hear about them in a little more detail, if you don't mind. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, you're making me blush. I chat with you all day. Oh, don't look so nervous, darling. I'm only teasing. Of course we could talk about them some more. I expect Canis used the chisel that was hidden in that chest set, don't you? It would have been easy work for that vile assassin. Wait a minute.
Objection!
This chest set you're talking about? Warden McGuard, you strike me as being more careful than the image you project suggests. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, please, call me Fifi, or Sweetie Pie if you prefer. However, I think you may have been a little less careful than you realize in this instance. Aren't you just the most adorable little creature? Don't be embarrassed, we're all family here. Ugh. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, don't let her get inside your head. You said earlier that you didn't know much about Knight, in which case I find it rather strange that you know about the chisel. Well, of course I do, darling. Do you think we don't check prisoners when they come in? You're not talking your way out of this, Warden. That is entirely irrelevant, and you know it. Knight didn't bring the chest set into the prison himself. It was brought by Mr. Saint when he came to visit. Knight wouldn't have had it with him when he arrived. What? I mean, of course, when Mr. Saint came in, we checked him. I find that hard to believe. Just if you did, that makes your story all the stranger. You found the chisel, why did you not confiscate it there and then? Ah! Judge Gavelle, did you tell anyone about the hidden compartment in the chest set? I did not. No one leaked our findings. How exactly did you learn about the chisel, Warden McGuard? Because it certainly couldn't have been when you checked Knight or Mr. Saint on their arrival. Indeed, such a thing would apply an intentional oversight if it had been found, yet let through. Precisely. So, Warden McGuard, and answer truthfully this time, where and when did you learn about the chess set? If you won't answer, then allow me. I submit that you... Alright, darling. There's no need to rub it in. You got me, alright? I questioned Knight. That was when I learned about the chess set. But please, you have to believe me. I did not kill him! One moment, Warden. This is a significant development. The court requests that you make a detailed statement on the record. Any objections, Mr. Edgeworth? None, Your Honor. Thank you! Thank you, darlings! I'll clear up this awful misunderstanding, I promise! Very well. Go ahead, Warden McGuard, and please tell the truth this time. Our lies are starting to wear thin. This is my chance to expose them. My truth, pardon. I said I questioned Knight, but it wasn't anything serious, you understand? I make a point of talking to every newcomer to our little home. Knight was no different. We just had a little chat, you might call it. And after we talked, I had him taken back to his cell straight away. The more she lies, the more thoroughly she seals her fate. So it was simply a conversation with a new detainee. That seems entirely straightforward. Exactly, Verity, darling. I knew you'd understand. Well, I don't. What proof do you have to back up your statement? I suppose we shall see, won't we? Mr. Edgeworth, you may begin your cross-examination. I said I questioned Knight, but it wasn't anything serious, you understand? I make a point of talking to every newcomer to our little home. Knight was no different. We just had a little chat, you might call it. And after we talked, I had him taken back to his cell straight away. Really?
Hold it!
If he really had gone back to his cell, he would still be alive today. You really think I murdered the poor man right there in my office, don't you? Well, what would my motive have been, darling? I told you I barely knew him. I'm no angel. I have my grudges against Canis, but Knight had nothing to do with that animal. He really does hate Canis. Warden McWard, I must insist that you append that statement to your testimony. I'm no angel. I have my grudges against Canis, but Knight had nothing to do with that animal. Wrong! Because they were playing a chess game together.
Objection!
Judge Cavell, I'd like you to take a look at this. Notes about a game of chess. What is the significance of this, Mr. Edgeworth? It was found in Knight's cell, which is exactly where you said you saw it too, Warden McWard. But you didn't just see this game in Knight's cell, did you? You've seen it in Mr. Canis' cell too. What do you mean?
Objection!
Oh, come now. Don't tell me you haven't taken a look at the chessboard in maximum security. I imagine you watch his every move like a hawk. Or rather, I imagine you feel that doing so is your only option. If she wants to find out who his cronies are, right? Personally, interrogating your own prisoners is highly irregular, to say the least. But as you said, Mr. Canis had threatened you. He put your precious home at risk. That's why you took it upon yourself to question him. You wanted to find out who his dogs were. And so what if I did? But you told us you read his letters, which means you must have known about one key fact. You knew he was playing correspondence chess! And then, who should appear but Knight, carrying with him a diagram of a very particular game. We ourselves used that diagram to infer a connection between the two men. It seems you came to the same conclusion. But in your fears, you took your reasoning one step further. You surmised that Knight was Mr. Canis' henchman, sent to kill you! Which is the real reason she had that chat with the Bronxer. If his boss wouldn't crack, maybe he would. And when you questioned Knight, you made another discovery. Well, there inside his chest set, you found a hidden chisel. The murder weapon itself! As far as you were concerned, that chisel meant one thing. Canis! Thus you convinced yourself that Knight was working for Canis. And that is why you killed him! I see you have no more excuses. Judge Cavell, your verdict, please. Much as it grieves me, there would appear to be a little room for doubt. I hereby give my verdict. Bronco Knight was murdered by... In the name of the goddess of justice, who is it this time? Warden? It's a joke. It's all a big stupid joke. People just don't get it, do you? I think we've proven that it's you who didn't understand things correctly. Me? Please, darling. I understand it all perfectly well, thank you very much. You understand there's a glaring contradiction in your theory, Mr. Edgeworth. You're just grasping at straws now. I have no time for this, Your Honor. Overruled. I'm curious to hear what the warden has to say. What? You are told, Verity. I just have one last thing to say, then Mr. Edgeworth can declare himself a winner. You rang? Does anybody remember a certain autopsy report? Of course, we received the finalized version only this morning. That's right, and I was listening to what you told us about it, Verity, even if nobody else was. You said the wound was 4 inches deep. 4 inches? Wait, riddle me this, Mr. Edgeworth. How does a tiny chisel make a 4-inch wound? Give me, oh goddess, I came perilously close to making a terrible mistake. Looks like your theory is the one that doesn't hold water, Edgeworth. What now, What do we do? It'll be fine. Mr. Edgeworth always comes through. Right, sir? Looks to me like the Mousatron run out of commission. You're an attorney too, aren't you? Why don't you do something? Turn things on their head with a desperate bluff. Blurt out the first mind-blowing thing that comes to you. Look, Detective, I'm as much of a man of action as the next guy. Without evidence, we're up a creek without a paddle here. This might be the end of the road. We can't give up now. We have to do something. I'm certain that Warden McWard is the killer. It's the only explanation that fits the facts of the case. But if the chisel wasn't the murder weapon, Well, a bladed weapon is there here in this facility. It seems we still do not have all the answers, nor the evidence to provide those answers. Alas, we must wait until the trial to see this matter resolved.
Objection!
Oh, come on, G! You're just giving the killer a chance to destroy the evidence! Are you calling the judicial process into question, Mr. Fender? Nope, not me! Nuh-uh! I tried, Miles. Any bright ideas? What is the real murder weapon, since it's clearly not the chisel? Found it! This question throws everything we've deduced out the window! Nothing to add, Mr. Edgeworth. Allow me to remind you that claims not supported by sufficient evidence are subject to the harshest penalties. It's hopeless! I can't think of anything! I need more time! Oh, this I am to admit it. You can't give up now. Remember what Mr. Fender said. Simeon's counting on us. Without us, Remember how upset he was? He was devastated. Nobody's in more pain than him over Mr. Knight's death. There's no way he did it, but if we can't save him, who will? And what's more, he believes in us. He's sitting in that cell waiting for us to bring him some good news. And I, for one, wouldn't walk away until we have some. Okay. Gee, Miles. You little buddy. There's quite the motivational speaker. Oh my goodness, it is hot. Why is it so hot? What are you doing? Turn on the AC for a little while. And she's right, too. When you find yourself on the ropes, think of your client. Picture them pleading with you to help them. Doesn't that make you want to fight back as hard as you can until the very end? Think of your old man, good old Gregory. No matter how bad things look, he'd always find a way to turn it around and save his client. You're just like him, right? And there's any way to force a turnabout here, you're the one who will find it. Simeon's counting on you. Judge Cavell, you seem to have recovered your composure, Mr. Edgeworth. But if you mean to attempt a defense, I would advise you to consider the ramifications. You have repeatedly proposed misguided theories and have made numerous false accusations. If you do so again, I will have no choice but to judge you unfit to serve as a prosecutor and relieve you of your badge for good. She's right. I have put forward a number of theories that proved to be flawed in one way or another. Have I made some sort of fundamental oversight? Wait, she said my theories were misguided. Nothing to say. Then the court will tolerate no more of your time wasting. I hereby... Sir! Mr. Edgeworth! Give my verdict. That's it! I've been thinking about it the wrong way all this time! My theories weren't misguided, I was being misled! The defendant did me the same. I think it's a little soon for that, Your Honor. I say it's well past due, darling. Wouldn't you agree, Verity? Mr. Edgeworth, you may proceed. What?! I'd like to remind you of a few things. The sighting of his dog, Helmut, the fact that he wasn't at the show. These and other factors made Mr. Canis the obvious suspect at first. This again, Mr. Edgeworth. You seem almost proud of your blunder. But what if the real killer wanted us to suspect Mr. Canis? What if it was all carefully arranged? And what if the same was true of the chisel, our perpetrated murder weapon? Knight had been stabbed multiple times in the same place with a bladed instrument. What if he was stabbed with the chisel after the real murder weapon had been removed? Just to leave traces of blood on it for us to find. That was how the killer misled us into thinking the chisel was the murder weapon. Why mislead us in this way? Why indeed? Why make us think the chisel is the murder weapon rather than whatever was really used? It was in order to get Canis transferred, yeah? Warden, you took advantage of what the chisel seemed to suggest. What it suggested? What are you talking about, darling? Mr. Winner, if I were to tell you the murder weapon was a chisel, what would you think? Mr. Canis is the killer? And there you have it. That was the trap the warden set for us. Oh! Mr. Canis has a bunch of chisels, so she wanted us to think it was one of his, right? Indeed, that was her plan right from the start. The frame bought it Canis. Your reasoning would appear to be sound. Warden LeGuard certainly seems to harbor a deep and abiding hatred for Mr. Candace. However, I think you know what I am going to say next. That alone is not sufficient proof that Warden LeGuard is the killer. I knew that wouldn't be enough. There's only one thing that will prove it. The real murder weapon that we now know must exist. If you cannot prove your theory, then this conversation ends here. If you could just find the real murder weapon. How many times do we have to go over this? We searched the prison from top to bottom. Eustace is quite correct. No other possible murder weapon has been found, so I'm afraid you're at a bit of an impasse. I can still prove my case yet, Your Honor, because it's still here inside this prison. This would have made sure of that. The security gate! I am glad you at least remember what it is. And do you remember what it does? Of course I do! I'm not an idiot! The security gate detects metal, which means you can't bring anything metal into the prison or take it out. Oh! Precisely. If there's another murder weapon, it cannot have been taken off the premises. Nor can it have been brought into the prison in the first place. So we find ourselves right back where we began. Judge Gumbo, what I am trying to tell you, Mr. Edward, is that if you wish me to believe that there is another murder weapon here in the prison, you will also have to explain to me how it got here. Alright, you know that the chisel was smuggled into the prison inside a pocket chest set, but our contention is that the chisel is not the real murder weapon. So the weapon came from outside the facility, and there must have been a way to bring it in. Yes, the question of the hour is this. Can you show me this alternate route? How did the weapon Warden LeGuard used to get into the prison? You borrowed evidence from the police to help with your investigation, is that correct? You borrowed evidence from the police to help with your investigation, is that correct? Why, yes, sweetie. Everything related to Candace is with me now. Heaven knows how many times I've followed the secret scoundrel into my office to talk to me. Of course, that's how! The fact that this is here with us shows how a bladed object could have been brought into the facility as well. Wouldn't it actually? Yeah, the bells! His bells are here! Wait a minute! Allow me to remind you of our conversation with Mr. Candace yesterday. Yes, it was but one of my bells. One of only two in existence. Just two? Two, and only two. One for my knife, and one for my beloved helmet. Exquisitely crafted, utterly unique. My ears are my guide, after all, and I must be able to use my tools. Precisely. Of course, as you said, the knife as long as it's been taken from me. So you see, there is a way for objects to be brought into the prison unscrutinized as part of the evidence Warden LeGuard borrowed from the police! What?! Mr. Candace's knife was part of the evidence in the case against him, and that evidence was here in the prison. Not only that, but the knife had a certain bell attached to it. The bell that was attached to the chisel! Correct. The killer took the bell from the knife and attached it to the chisel. But that can't be right! The chisel only had Mr. Knight's fingerprints on it! Easy enough to explain if the killer wore gloves. She made it look as if the chisel was a murder weapon and then attached the bell to it. In so doing, she made sure that all the evidence pointed to Mr. Cannon. And who had access to the evidence from which the bell was taken? Why, only the person to whom it had been entrusted. Who was it, sir? Who's been messing with the evidence? I believe that would be you. Is that correct? The bells aren't exactly there, you know. Anybody could have set that up. Unluckily for you, that isn't quite true. These particular bells are unique because there are only 2 of them in existence. What? What? By attaching that bell to the chisel, you as good as declared yourself the killer. But you don't have any proof that the knife was ever even here to begin with. I don't. Not yet, anyway. Mr. Winter, I'd like you to order another search of the prison right away. Huh? But if you do find something, that's going to make things awkward for me. This isn't about what's convenient for you. We have to find the truth. You're a prosecutor, aren't you? Well, yeah, but, you know, this was an excuse for a prosecutor. If I had investigative authority, I wouldn't be sitting on it. Anyhow, it's not my decision to make. The warden would have to authorize it. You know full well that she will do no such thing. You have the power to assist on the search. Use it! Sorry, darling, but not without that evidence. The goddess of justice cannot bestow her blessings on those who lack the proof to support their claims. Our work here is done. The rest of this matter will have to be settled in the courtroom. No! If we give LaGuard the opportunity, she'll destroy whatever evidence is left. I have to object. I have to stop them. But what do I say? I don't have anything concrete to offer. What am I thinking? I'm never this reckless. No, I can't back down now. I've got to put everything on the line. I'm not a prosecutor right now. I'm an associate attorney with a client to defend. Only I can save Mr. Sane, and that means even if my chances are 1,000,000 to 1, it's still worth a shot. It's now or never. Should I object? Object, obviously. I suppose this must be how a certain serial bluffer always feels. Talking about Phoenix again? Regardless, I cannot walk away.
Objection!
Wait, Your Honor! That better be good, Mr. Edgeworth. I've got it. Got what, exactly? The real murder weapon, of course. I know where Mr. Canis's knife is. Do you really, Mr. Edgeworth? I do. Not at all. If I did not know any better, I would say that you were bluffing. Ha! You wound me, Your Honor. I don't know the meaning of the word. It's terrible for my heart. There's no way you could. It's not here, I tell you! Well, would you be so kind as to enlighten us? Where's the real murder weapon? Think, Miles, think! Somewhere not even the police would search. A blind spot in the zoo. A hiding place that the warden could be absolutely sure of. A hiding place? No! If you insist, come on here, let's open up. Did she use the same trick? No, that's ridiculous! Isn't it? But the more I think about it, how many foolproof ways to evade detection could there be? Mr. Edgeworth, how long do you intend to keep us waiting? There's the faintest possibility I'm right. And if I'm wrong, we stand to lose everything. Your Honor, this is where the real murder weapon is hidden. It's in the yard, with the inside the alligator's mouth. Here, in the yard? Indeed. I don't believe I understand. Would you care to explain a little more? Where exactly is the real murder weapon hidden? It's inside the alligator.
Take that!
Of course. That's what it must have been. Huh? What's the matter, detective? It's the metal detector, sir. It's reacting to the alligator. What? How? The metal detector was reacting to something inside her after all. Your Honor, I'd like to remind you of this piece of evidence. The chisel? Didn't we just figure out that isn't the murder weapon? You might recall that Mr. Canis hid this chisel in his dog's mouth. Would you believe that the real murder weapon was hidden in much the same way? Hi, Wilbur. Hi. right. The murder weapon is hidden inside the alligator in that pond over there. What? No way! We detected the presence of a metallic object during our earlier investigation. Judge Gabel, we need to know what's inside that alligator. Understood. Then we would need to summon a veterinarian. I'm sure I could get the little sweetie to open up for us. I'd be happy to give it a try. Please, by all means. Warn the guard! The real murder weapon is about to be revealed. Why not do the right thing and invest? I have nothing to confess! As you wish, you can simply wait and watch as your lies are exposed. Sir, we got it! That has to be it! It's over, Fifi LaGuard. The real murder weapon was Butted Harmonious' knife, making you the only person who could have killed Bronco Knight! I'm not the criminal here! This is all Canis' doing! I did the right thing! Knight was a threat! He was Canis' lapdog! Curse that despicable mad Canis! Why did he have to come and ruin my perfect little home? We could have been happy forever if it wasn't for him! He ruined my paradise on Earth! He ruined everything! Curse him! Curse that pitiless butcher! That awful, terrible, despicable man! Curse him! March 29th, 12:34 p.m. Detention Center Corridor. Prosecutor, the winner, sir! The test results have just come back. The winner? I guess we've all been under a lot of stress. Traces of Bronco's Knight blood was found on Mr. Canis' knife. It's just like you said, sir. Congratulations on a stunning victory. Thank you, officer. Excellent work. You can continue complimenting me if you like. Yes, sir! The winner wins again! I think I'm welling up a little. With rage? Excellent work, Eustace. Just a few loose ends to tie up and we're done. Huh? What are you talking about? I just solved the case, didn't I? You have to confirm whether or not Knight really was working for Mr. Canis. It will be vital to know if Warden LaGuard will simply jump into conclusions on that front. Huh? There's Clueless, and then there's you. Well, I guess we better get back to our investigation. Alright, officer, you're with me. You're about to see that the winner win a whole lot more. Prepared to witness first-rate investigative talent in action. Yes, sir. I'm right with you, sir. Can't wait to watch you at work. It's winning time! I know that guy must hate his life. I expect this case will cause quite a stir. The attempted murder of a president is news enough, and now his would-be assassin has been murdered. A Knight never sought to kill the president in the first place! The truth is not always as important as it might seem, Mr. Edgeworth, in the eyes of both society and the law. How can you even say that? You do not have to believe me. However, as a prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth is obliged to accept that this is the reality of the world he operates in. Being a prosecutor is about more than proving people guilty. That's what I believe. We are all free to believe as we choose, but the law is not to be toyed with for our own personal goals. If you refuse to accept this, then you must prepare to suffer the consequences. What does that even mean? Wait, you're not going to take his... I'm afraid I must be going now. Farewell, Mr. Edgeworth. Judge Gabel is right. There must be only one set of laws for everyone. But if following the law means sacrificing the truth, can I really do that in good conscience? Simeon, you're out! Hi, Regina. Is everything alright? They did let you out, right? Yeah. But I'm so confused about what's going on here. Some guy just came and said I was free to go, and that I have Mr. Edgeworth to thank. You sure do. Mr. Edgeworth found out who the real killer is. Wow, really? You do that for me, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh no. No. Stop staring at me like that. I'm innocent, I swear. Don't pull the rug out from me under now. Stop it, silly. It's true. He saved you. So say thanks already. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you. And a great big Regina Berry thank you from me, too. The saint talking directly to me? Small victories, I suppose. Can I just ask one question, Mr. Attorney? Sure. Not actually an attorney, though. I thought Bronco was my friend. No, my best friend. I trusted him, but now... Well, it's just... I never knew. I never would have believed that he could hate somebody enough to want to kill them. If he kept something like that from me, then he never really trusted me, did he? That's not true, Simeon. Of course he trusted me. No, he didn't. If he just told me, I could have stopped him. I could have told him that hate never helps, that he had to let go of all that stuff. Mr. Saint, I think you're forgetting something. I should show him the thing that proves Knight trusted him. The pocket chess set, yeah?
Take that!
It's the chess set I brought for him. Knight had hidden a chisel inside it. I imagine he meant to use it to escape. What? You mean he was using me? No. He believed in you. He knew we could count on you to bring it, and that you would never be so untrusting as to look inside it. I imagine that by not telling you, he was hoping he could keep you from getting caught up in his mess. Oh, Bronco, why didn't you tell me? At least you understand now, right, Simeon? Sure he does. He may not show it, but Simeon's no dummy. A good night's sleep and he'll be completely over this whole thing by tomorrow. That's not as complimentary as you think it is. I'll try. I have to, for Bronco. To show him I can become the best animal trainer out there. That's the spirit. Oh, I almost forgot. We're, doing a new show soon. I'd love it if you could come, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll be joining Regina on stage for this one. That's right. The Very Big Circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. You'll have oodles of fun. Sounds great, doesn't it, Mr. Edgeworth? Come on, we have to go. Well, I'll think about it. Alright, Simeon, we've got some training to do. I think it's time you and Rita got acquainted. What? Rita the tiger? No way, I can't! No! Oh, you'll be fine, silly. You'll never meet a nicer kitty cat. I can't! Please, Regina, anything but that, please! Another satisfied customer. Well, that was really something, Smiles. Talk about pulling it out of the bag. Couldn't have done it without you, Thunder. Without your timely intervention, she would have gotten away. Besides, I have you to thank for even being able to investigate the case in the first place. Oh, stop it. Pat me on the back any harder and you're going to make me blush. Or topple over. I suppose it would be asking too much for you to take this seriously. Seriously? Miles, my friend, I'm always serious. Anyway, how does it feel to save an innocent client? That's what it means to be an attorney, after all. To be an attorney. Gotta say, I had a blast. Reminded me of the good old days. Like Reggie was standing there right beside me. It's been like a zillion years since I felt this warm and fuzzy on the job. That's good, bittersweet, I'm not sure. Say, Miles, you ever thought about going into the defense game full-time? Excuse me? You know, pick up where Gregory left off. Get out there and actually help people. Hey, pal, don't get any big ideas. Mr. Edgeworth ain't about to switch sides. Why not? Coming over to the light side's all the rage. Everybody's doing it these days. Come on, Mr. Fender, you know it's not about that. Chill, teen, chill, don't get it twisted. I was asking a perfectly innocent question. No, you weren't. The heck you were. Looks like you've got a mean defense team there yourself, Miles. Fender, I am a prosecutor. Yep, and I am an attorney. You could be one too. I'm serious. Well, I've said my piece. You change your mind, you know who to call. I'll be waiting. Following my father's footsteps? Could I really do such a thing? I'm going to become a defense attorney, just like my dad. An attorney, like my father. Me? And with that, that brings today's episode to a close. Tomorrow we shall tackle the next chapter of Ace Attorney Investigations 2 by tackling episode 3, Turnabout Legacy. So thank y'all for watching, and as always, your host, TheAmariaShadow, saying along Z, and I'll see you for the next adventure. Goodbye, everyone!